welcome back to NBA Playoff Watch, Episode 5 here at OT Sports. This is going to be an exciting episode. Even though Connor isn't here today to, talk with me, we got a lot to talk about, and I don't really have much time to talk about it. I just want to say Happy Easter. Uh, I personally celebrate Easter. I don't know about you guys, but whatever you're celebrating, uh, just have a great day today. Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting day for the NBA. We got all 30 teams playing today. We got a lot of things to cover, so let's just hop right into it. This is gonna be the recap from yesterday's games. The Jazz took down the Nuggets by 4. The Clippers beat the Trailblazers. That was a big win for them, and the Timberwolves beat the Spurs. That was another big win. The Clippers and Timberwolves both got the job done. They did what they needed to. So yeah, that was good for them. East standings. All the seeds are set in the East. Nothing can change. Um, all the seeds in the playoffs. Technically, we could see the Wizards, Pacers, and Magic switch around, but that doesn't really matter. But the top 10 teams in the East are all set, so this is going to be your playoffs for the Eastern Conference. That's really all I got to talk about in the East. In the West, currently, this is how the teams are placed. The top 4 teams are all set. They cannot move around at all. The number 10 seed, the Thunder, can also not move. So the Thunder will be your 10 seed in the play-in. But the 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 can all switch around. Now the Timberwolves have clinched the playoffs, so the highest they could get is the 7 seed. Um, but they, the Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, and Pelicans can all move around, which makes it a very, very exciting final day. We also had a little bit of a change. It's not really important, but the Rockets passed up the Spurs for the 14th spot in the West. The Rockets, it seems like, have been there the whole time, and all of a sudden the Spurs just get that bottom seed. It doesn't really mean much for the draft lottery since the top 3 teams all have the same odds, but I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. If I had to pick a team, see Victor Wembanyama on, probably pick the Rockets or the Pacers. Pacers is kind of a long shot pick, but for the top 3 teams, I would want to see him go to the Rockets. I don't know. I feel like he would be good there. The Spurs would be cool too. I wouldn't want him to see him on the Pistons. So yeah, it's the Western Conference now. I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably thinking you didn't really talk about much there. Well, that's what this new segment I added here was for. This took a little bit of a long time because I had to figure all this stuff out. So these are the teams that can all switch around here. We got the ranges of seeds they can get. So we'll start off with the Clippers. We'll just focus on, we'll just go team by team. Clippers, their range of seeds is the 5 through 7. The highest they could get is the 5. The lowest they could get is the 7 seed. One more thing I just wanted to point out. There is different scenarios where, for example, the Warriors could get the 5 seed. So, like, you see their best case scenario. There's another scenario where I think if the Pelicans win, the Warriors win, and the Clippers win, I'm pretty sure the Warriors can still get the 5 seed. I don't know how that really makes sense, but that's how it. That's what could happen. So yeah. All right, but anyways, this isn't the only scenario where your team could get that seed. It's just the most simple one. So the Clippers would get the 5 seed if they win. That's all they gotta do. They just gotta win today. Let's see who they play. They do play the Suns, which might be a tough game. I don't know if the Suns are playing their starters. If they are, that'll be a really tough game. If they're not, still be a pretty hard game. They are on the road, but they do need a win bad here to get this 5 seed. The worst case scenario for the Clippers to fall all the way to the 7th seed. If they lose to the Suns, the Warriors beat the Trailblazers, and the Pelicans beat the Timberwolves. That's how the Clippers could drop down to the 7th seed. Um, and it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a scenario, but I mean, it's not impossible by any means. So yeah, the Clippers could drop down to the 7th seed. The Warriors have one of the biggest ranges, not the biggest, but the second biggest range. They could be anywhere within the 5 through 8 seed. Their best case scenario to get the 5 seed is with a win over the Trailblazers and a Clippers loss to the Suns. They could end up with the 5 seed. But honestly, if I have any of these teams, I would be trying to get to the 6 seed. The 6 seed, in my opinion, is where you want to be. I wouldn't want to play. Definitely wouldn't want to be in the play-in. And if you're the 5 seed, you got to face up against the Phoenix Suns in the first round. So I think the ideal scenario for all these teams is to get the 6 seed. Um, so yeah. So if I'm any of these teams, I would be hoping to get that 6 seed. Um, so yeah, that's the Warriors' best case scenario. Their worst case scenario, they could drop all the way down to the 8th seed with a loss. If they lose to the Trailblazers, the Clippers beat the Suns, the Lakers beat the Jazz, and the Pelicans beat the Timberwolves. They could drop all the way down to the 8th seed. And honestly, that's not even that much of a long shot to happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it did happen. Um, so yeah, that's the Warriors. We'll move on to the Lakers now. The Lakers, their best case scenario to get the 6th seed, which again I think is the best spot to be out of the 5 through 9 range. Uh, their best case scenario to get the 6th seed is with a win over the Jazz. The Warriors need to lose to the Trailblazers, and the Pelicans need to lose to the Timberwolves. Their worst case scenario to drop to the 8th seed is if they lose. If they lose, they will drop to the 8th seed, no matter what happens. So, yeah, if they lose, they will drop to the 8th seed. Pelicans and Timberwolves. Now, I can see what some of you guys are thinking. Um, how can they both? How can their worst case scenario both be the 9? Um, and like so, for example, if they both lost, who would get the 9 seed? Well, they play each other. So if one of them loses, that means the other one wins. So the Pelicans here are the most interesting team in my opinion. They have the biggest range. They could be anywhere from the 5 seed to the 9 seed, which is actually crazy that they can move that much based off of one game. Um, so their best case scenario to get that 5 seed, it's not even that much of a long shot either. They beat the Timberwolves. Now that will be a tough game. It is in Minnesota. But then the Clippers would have to lose to the Suns, and the Warriors would have to lose to the Trailblazers. Her worst case scenario is with a loss to the Timberwolves. They drop down to the 9th seed. That would be tough. But I mean, so yeah, that game will be a must-watch. Pelicans Timberwolves. That game is very, very important for seeding. Speaking of the Timberwolves, their best case scenario to get that 7th seed is with a win over the Pelicans and a Lakers loss to the Jazz. And honestly, I could see it happening. I wouldn't be shocked if they got the 7th seed. Their worst case scenario to drop down to the 9 is with the loss. They would then drop down to the 9th seed, which would be a lot tougher of a spot. You'd have to win 2 games, both on the road. And the 7th seed, you have 2 chances. Both games would be at home for you, too. So, yeah, that's the scenarios in the Western Conference of what can move around, how it's possible. And in reality, none of these are really that much of a long shot. The biggest scenario, the only one with 4 things that have to happen, is the Warriors to drop down to the 8th seed. So I wouldn't expect the Warriors to drop down to the 8th seed. especially because they're playing the Trailblazers. So I feel like the Warriors should be good. Um, now, now we'll talk about. Now we're gonna talk about the games today. A lot of them don't mean much, but some of them are mean like everything. Um, there's a lot of important games. There's also games that don't matter at all. We'll start off with the Pacers and the Knicks. This is one of those games that don't really matter at all. The Knicks are at home. I'd expect them to sit some starters, but I'm still gonna take the Knicks. I think they'll win. Bucks Raptors. The Bucks are gonna sit starters. And the Raptors can't move either. But I'm gonna take the Raptors. Now I keep trusting the Raptors, and it keeps coming back to bite me. But they're at home here, so I'll take them. Bulls Pistons. The Bulls are gonna sit all their starters except Vooch. Vucevic is playing, so he can play all 82 games this season. So I'll take the Bulls. The Pistons suck. They're not good. 76ers Nets. This is a playoff series preview, but I'm gonna take the Nets. I would. I feel like Mikal Bridges should play because he hasn't missed a game in his whole career. So yeah, I'll take the Nets for that reason. Cavs Hornets. Give me the Hornets actually because the Cavs won't play their starters. So I don't know. I'm about to take the Hornets. Celtics and Hawks. I'll take the Celtics just because their bench is pretty deep. Wizards Rockets. This is a game that well, all these games so far haven't mattered. None of the games in the East mattered. Rockets Wizards. Give me. I'll take the Rockets. I feel like they've been winning a lot recently. And then the Magic and the Heat. I'll take the Magic. Why not? So now we'll move on to the West. These are the games that matter a lot more. Um, we'll start off with this Pelicans Timberwolves game. This is probably the most important game in the West because both these teams are competing for seeding and they're playing up against each other. The Pelicans have been playing very good recently, but Timberwolves have too. Uh, I really would love to see the Pelicans win and kind of like shock the world and end up with the 5 seed. But I feel like the Timberwolves have this. They're at home. I don't know. I have a feeling. Grizzlies Thunder. Give me the Thunder. They're a scrappy young team, and the Grizzlies probably won't play their starters. So give me the Thunder. Suns Clippers. Taking the Clippers. The Clippers have a reason to play their starters in this game. The Suns don't. So I'll take the Clippers here. And Mavericks and Spurs. This game doesn't matter. Give me the Spurs. Uh, Kings Nuggets. 1 versus 3 in the West. They're not going to play their starters, but I'll take the Nuggets. Jazz Lakers. This is an important game. This is a big game. The Lakers are at home. I think they'll show up. And then Warriors and Trailblazers. I'll take the Warriors. Uh, they're in a must-win scenario. Um, so yeah, I kind of it's a little bit boring. I didn't really have any like super big stories. But if those predictions were to play out exactly how I said they would, the 5 seed would be the Clippers, the 6 seed would be the Warriors, the 7 seed would be the Lakers, the 8 seed would be the Timberwolves, and the 9 seed would be the Pelicans. Um, but yeah, that's how I think it will play out. But I wouldn't be shocked if something crazy happened. Really wouldn't be out of the um, possibility. We're gonna skip the bracket this time around because we're gonna make a video tomorrow doing our playoff predictions. So yeah, and also Connor's not here, so it'd be kind of hard to do his bracket without him. He will be back tomorrow. But yeah, that's episode 5 of NBA Playoff Watch. Enjoy basketball today. It's the last day of the regular season. A lot of crazy things uh, could happen. I'm expecting at least one uh, pretty. I'm expecting at least one seating change. I don't think it will be the exact same of how it is right now. Um, so yeah, should be a good day of basketball. Um, this episode's short. I'm sorry. Tomorrow's episode will be long. It is our playoff predictions, so we gotta go in depth there. But yeah, it's gonna be it for NBA Playoff Watch episode 5. Next year we will have these throughout the whole year. Um, this was kind of we did NBA Power Rankings. They weren't really doing so well, so we kind of took a break. Kind of got thinking how we could make it better, and I feel like this is a better format. I want to thank you guys for the support recently. We're up to 11 subscribers now. We got like 450 views on the episode 1 of this. So if you're enjoying these, leave a like, subscribe. We got a lot of content coming up. MLB is starting. We'll talk about that. I'll probably do NHL playoff predictions, even though I don't watch it. And we might have an NFL mock draft coming up soon. I might do a college basketball transfer portal video coming up soon. So you have a lot of things to talk about in sports. Uh, yeah, so if you like what you're seeing, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of different content from all different sorts. We also do college football. Um, so yep, that's gonna be it. Enjoy basketball today, and can't wait for the playoffs.